5. Crete, Greece. Temperature: 20 degrees Celsius high, 11 degrees Celsius low. Season: spring. As the southernmost of the Greek islands, Crete is also the hottest. April makes a great shoulder season, outside of the Easter school holidays, of course, with the mercury rising amiably before summer's sweltering peak. Take advantage of thinner crowds with lazy days on blockbuster beaches. Ordinarily packed pink-hued Isla Fenice should be left in relative peace. Note that the further south you go, the more likely you'll find a truer Crete, unbothered by resorts. Spectacular, rugged mountain drives thread through lazy villages, where tavernas typically produce their own meat, cheese, and wine. You can bet on a few free rounds of house reiki after the meal too. Better plan on staying the night. Sustainable travel tip: 2 excellent eco-resorts are tucked away in Crete's more traditional corners. Milia is a mountain retreat that runs on solar energy and natural spring water and is perfectly placed for hiking adventures. 4. The Nile, Egypt. Temperature: 29 degrees Celsius high, 16 degrees Celsius low. Cairo. Season: spring. Egyptomania is back in vogue like it's the 1920s, thanks to various happenings in the last few years, including the centenary of the discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb, the opening of the colossal Grand Egypt Museum in Giza, and Kenneth Branagh's remake of Death on the Nile. Cruises down the world's longest river are to be had on increasingly charming old-school boats, and April is the last chance to sail from Cairo down to Luxor and the Valley of the Kings, all the way to Aswan, when the weather is hot and sunny, but not yet unbearable in the south. Sustainable travel tip: to substantially reduce the carbon footprint of your trip, sail in a felucca, a traditional wooden sailing boat. Rather than a motorized yacht, they're also ineffably romantic. 3. Seville, Spain. Temperature: 24 degrees Celsius high, 11 degrees Celsius low. Season: spring. Andalusia's saffron-hued capital is all vibrance and passion, and in springtime most of all. The ancient cobbled streets are scented with orange blossom and colorful with parades. First comes the ecclesiastical solemnity and brass bands of Holy Week leading up to Easter. Then, 2 weeks later, an altogether more vibrant fiesta, the Feria de Abril, a whirl of parties and music, colorful costumes, Sevillanos on horseback and flamenco dancers stamping to the staccato of castanets. Take a side trip to the Costa de la Luz and seek out a sheltered bay for some beach time. It's the warmest spot in mainland Spain in April. Sustainable travel tip: shop in the markets for locally grown produce, find homemade souvenirs at Mercado El Postigo, which supports local artists, and made in Spain fair trade and organic clothing at Verde Mosque, among other independents in Benito Soto. 2. Turkish coast. Temperature: 21 degrees Celsius high, 10 degrees Celsius low. Season: spring. The holiday season doesn't get started until May on the turquoise coast, which is precisely why In the Know Istanbulites go in April for an early dose of spring sunshine, before the crowds when the coastline is bursting into riotous bloom. Find yourself a sun trap, a swimming deck, a sheltered bay, a waterside cabana or taverna, anywhere along the Aegean Mediterranean coast. Bodrum, Datça, Fethiye, Kos, where fishing villages are bright with bougainvillea in every shade of pink winding around blue-painted balconies. Sustainable travel tip: Earth House Retreat is a sustainably built, solar-powered set of clay cob houses, miles from anywhere on the little-visited Datça Peninsula. They are simple, cheap, and completely charming. Rent through Airbnb. 1. Madeira, Portugal. Temperature: 20 degrees Celsius high, 14 degrees Celsius low. Season: spring. Portugal's barely there sprinkling of an archipelago, 280 miles off the coast of Morocco, is subtropically clement all year round. In April, this fertile island bursts into bloom. The flower festival falls in April or May, depending on the year, and things start to warm up. Though temperatures are hardly balmy, average high is 20 OC. It's ideal weather for outdoor pursuits in the diverse natural environment, walking in lush green forests to waterfalls, up volcanic peaks, and along vertiginous cliff paths, while the surrounding waters are a riot of marine life in April, brimming with 20 species of whales and dolphins. Sustainable travel tip: whale watching and swimming with dolphins is a highlight of a Madeira trip, but make sure you go with a responsible tourism company.